Okay. Let's try this again. Let's try this again. All right, I'll wait for you guys to bounce back on. Take two, which I think is a big message for you guys that I will explain as soon as people bounce back on. I think I had like 20 of you. I'll at least wait until there's 10 of you. There we go. We're popping on. We're popping on. Let me just clean my glasses. All right. You working? All right. Yep. I said let's wrap up June, and then I went to go type the same thing in, and I wrote let's try again. And I know over the weekend we were talking about reconciliations and things like that, and I'm going to give you a prime example. Danny passed away. I'm going to give you a little trigger warning too, like in the sense this might be a warning in the sense this might be triggering. Might be an emotional reading for those who are dealing with people who possibly passed over. But he had this like best friend. He had a lot of best friends, but people that were pretty important to him. And he passed away on the 26th of June, 2023. And I was telling you guys that I was bitter about some things in regards to how some things went down. And I was contemplating back and forth to delete certain people off my Facebook. So, needless to say, long story short, I did. And one woman reached out and she was just kind of like, why did you delete me? So I was brutally honest, and I was like, let's be honest. We were never friends. You never liked me, this and that. And we weren't really friends, and she did like me. And the depth of conversation that we've shared since yesterday and this morning has been extremely deep. And I sent her some text messages between me and him for her to really see like the depth of a situation, because me and him have just a wild story. And that it was just a complete blessing when it came back around before he passed away. So it's somebody who wanted, for those who don't know, it's somebody who wanted to, we were just good friends in high school and wanted to date me, but I started dating somebody else. And we remained friends. I got married, we connected here and there, but just friendly things. It was never anything. And then after my marriage, I ended up dating off and on the person that I was dating in high school, where I chose him instead of Danny. So needless to say, at the end of his life, we got the opportunity to reconnect, and it did feel different, and we knew it was different. And I'm just extremely grateful that we had that opportunity. So I was left with no regrets, and he crossed over with no regrets in regards to me to have to come into another life and deal with the same situation. The way this woman talks, the way she speaks, the way her words are written, like it's real. I had no idea the depth it's so nice. It's almost like somebody in my tribe that I didn't even know was part of my tribe. And in a way, like, I don't know, I can't explain it, you know? So for me, I did have that. That did happen to me in that read. A lot of people want to place it with um, ex-lovers and, you know, ex-boyfriends and girlfriends. And so I'm giving you a prime example that it's not always like that. And all that chaos, I could totally see that within his situation as well with certain stuff without really putting him there, if that makes sense. So I just wanted to share that because I think a lot of people always place somebody they were intimate with. And me and Danny at the end, we were intimate, you know what I mean? But but he's crossed over and there's still a lot of drama about certain things, you know what I mean? Family members, friends, exes of his, you know, just shit like that. So, and then I felt bad because I felt like I made her feel guilty for not like reaching out and certain stuff, and I didn't have that intention either, you know. But they knew, and I even said to her, like, you knew how special I was to him. And that's really the end of the story. It can really get wrapped up that quick. There's no excuses, you know? So I think I did obviously make her feel a little bad, but it is what it is. And not too many people you delete come back and ask why you deleted them. So I felt like I owed her an explanation. And she basically pointed out to me that I was still kind of grieving without realizing I was still kind of grieving, if that makes sense, you know? Because I did kind of lash out, you know, but not in a bad way, in a very honest way. And I said to her too, like, when and if you respond to this, I hope you're just as brutally fucking honest. And I kept stressing to her, like, I'm not trying to be an asshole and I'm not trying to project this energy just towards you. It's the whole entire fucking group. You're fucking cliquey and I don't like it. Like, I was a little bit of an asshole. But at the end of the day, just the way I connected with her through the depth of the conversation and what she understood touched my soul. Now I know why her and Danny was such good friends in a sense, you know. And she's like, I'm so grateful he had that with you. She's like, now I see that with just certain messages, you know. She's like, holy shit, you know. So in the last couple of weeks, I think because it was the anniversary of Danny, I was feeling certain energies out and about, but not really wanting to mention it like that because it was personal for me. But June does have a lot of high death mortality rates, you know. Um, so I just heard slow down, you know, slow down in the car, whatever the case may be. So yeah. And I told her one day that I'd sit with her and share like that wild story, because it's a wild story. And you can find that reading on my YouTube right around this time last year. I don't know what it's labeled, but it's a beautiful story, and I'm just so appreciative that we had that last chance to really reconnect. It truly was a blessing. There was definitely a reason for it, and I see that now. I saw it then, but I see it even more now. So, and it really was tough because I was friends with all these, I went to high school with all these people, you know, and I checked on them a lot to see how they were doing. And I didn't expect them to check in on me. And some people did, you know, but I did kind of say to her, like, no one bothered to check on me, you know, which is kind of shitty of me. And I didn't need anyone to check on me, you know, but it's like we all grieve in different ways. And they were very, you know, there's like 20 of them that are very cliquey. They did everything together, vacations, football games, sports, you name it, you know what I mean? Dinners all the time. Like, but they always knew I was there. That's the times where I would see them when we would go. He purchased his first house about 5 years ago, and I went to every cookout after that with them, you know, and so it's like I was family. And she felt really bad. I guess it just didn't click, you know, because people think when you hang out with somebody every day and it's like that, and then you only see somebody compared to seeing somebody like once a year or whatnot at a family or a friend event, you know, like they don't know the extent of other people's relationships, even though they knew we went to Celtics games together and, you know, Taco Tuesday, things like that. We did randomly throughout the years as well. So don't be naive to that on how like people grieve. Like check on people, you know. And I'm not saying in the sense like I need to be checked up on, but it would have been thoughtful, you know. So I think I did make her feel a little guilty, but obviously non-intentional. So I do think like this is a good way to like wrap up June as well, in the sense of just being more aware of other people's feelings, especially if somebody does want to have a conversation, you know. So something with a challenge, you know. So just know you never, like, I never in the wildest dreams ever would have thought I would have connected with her, ever. And just through conversation alone, I know she's part of my tribe. So maybe at some point this week, or when she can as well, we can meet up at his grave and I can kind of tell her the story. Because I don't think they knew the story. They kind of looked at me like, why do you keep bothering with her? Or why do you keep, you know what I mean? Like, and he told me things. I know they were like that, you know, because I kept breaking his heart. We would talk for months and then stop talking. But like, and I would push away from him because he would want more and I didn't want more. You know what I mean? So they kind of looked at me like I wouldn't say a monster, you know, but like, that girl's just gonna hurt you. But I always stuck around, you know, so I think that energy's out there too. Like, and I've been saying that in the last couple of weeks in the reads, like, some people are afraid to come back around, and or they're gonna leave you before you can leave them because of their own insecurities. So I just thought it was a really good example for you guys to share. It's not just people, you know, that's why I said like, or that's why I say, for some of you, it's not who you think it is, because you can always place somebody there. But if you think about somebody else on the sideline, they're always going to fit into that story because it's energy. We all experience the same life lessons in different orders, and not all the same, but a majority of like maybe 3 out of 10. I don't know how much I'm just giving you an example. I don't know how much we come back into this world with karma. Some people a shit ton, but like just say, let's put a number on it and say there's 10 things, and I guarantee 3 or 4 of those you all have to experience at some point in your life. It's just a matter of when you agree to experience them, So we are in a heavy transit of water with Cancer and Pisces, guys. So it is, I'm hearing compassion again, too. So again, for me, I never know. There could be another story that comes in for me. It could be multiple things with you as well. So just giving you a heads up. Let's see. Let's wrap up June. And then I wrote, let's try again, so it's probably worth putting the effort into something. You have the 7 of Cups. This is the Lord of Illusionary Success. You have the Moon. Boy, does that Moon really want to keep coming out. 8 of Wands, communication. Break on through to the other side. See, there's depth here. Tell me to grab my clear quartz. I don't have any crystals over here right this second, because I wasn't finished setting up the table. Where is it? I think it's on my bed. Oh, did I put it back over here? Oh, I didn't. What the fuck? Oh, there it is. Okay. Well, there it is. The Sun has been coming out too. This is definitely some type of alignment. Day after day, I feel so confused. Give me the B-boys to free my soul. I wanna get lost in your rock and roll and drift away. I am feeling like heavy depression. But there's positivity here too. Like, it's kind of mysterious. Five of Wands. There could be some type of argument, confusion around a situation. It does look like you might get some sort of clarity. This is pulling me to I think members, and I kept saying like by the end of June or the next full moon, but I'm hearing quarter moon, and that was the 21st. It's like day after day, I feel so confused. But then it's like, it gets really upbeat. Give me the big boys to feed my soul. I wanna get lost in your rock and roll. So, and drift away. Like, there's something here that's actually exciting. But confusing. there's someone here is definitely overthinking as well, or somebody's struggling to communicate because they think it's going to be interpreted wrong, or there needs to be a little strife before you can dance. There needs to be, after every, storm, there's a rainbow. No matter where you are, after it rains, there's always a rainbow at some part of the world, and I truly believe that, because it's Mother Earth, and it's probably trying to find the equilibrium with the aura and the rain. Like, it's hard to explain. I don't know how to explain it because I'm not an astrologer. I do feel like I probably was in a past life, but or I came here with something in regards to working with astrology. To what depth, I don't know. I feel like it probably could have been more, and it this is pulling me to someone I knew once, like when it came to reading and tarot. I think he said to me, like, it won't always be cards or something, like, meaning like I got a bigger purpose, but doesn't mean I'm stuck on the cards. It just means, like, regardless of where I go, I will always love my cards and always want to read the cards for people, So I do feel like something needs to be illuminated here. And it could be multiple things that are going through your head, because I'm bringing up multiple things. But like 3 cups here, to me, are like rooted, like something's really strong to root. Usually each cup, right? Usually each cup is filled with different things. These all happen to be flowers. And I just brought this plant up the other day, King Tut's plant. It can live for centuries and centuries and centuries. And it looks like that. And these are the broken pieces when the squirrel got my favorite plant. But they grow really tall. So I was researching, like, when they break, how to cut them, and is it possible to reroot them? And it is. You can do it in water and soil, but it has to be placed upside down. So that's what it's kind of reminding me of, like the bud, the leaves, that has to go in the water this way. And that's how it roots. So, like, something can, like, to me, so something can be rooted here. It's like, but somebody here is like, is illusionary. It's almost like that Neptune energy coming in, because it's like each cup is the same thing. But right now, I kind of feel like it's nerves or negativity. Like, there needs to be an expansion. I came across a meme the other day. I didn't screenshot it, but it was cute. It was like 3 little turtles, and 2 turtles were, just swimming, and one turtle was outside of its shell, sitting in its shell and rowing the shell, and it said, "Think outside the box." And I was like, "Oh, that's cute." We all know that, but like, that's what I just got pulled to. So somebody is stuck here in this energy, but like, they don't need to be. It's like somebody who doesn't want to be emotionally vulnerable, or somebody that's holding back, but also worried about an argument, or, drama, jealousy. Day after day, I grow more confused. Yeah, so it's like, but I feel like it's 7 people that are confused. Like one person's confusion is causing everyone's confusion. So it's affecting, family, work life, disrupting thoughts, purposely distracting themselves from feeling energy. Ace of Pentacles. So yeah, there's, like I said, like there's that opportunity. If you guys are thinking about making cards, make cards. I've been saying that, but God, I don't know how long. And I have a blank deck right here. I drew that for you guys one day. I don't remember what it was. And how long have I been saying this to you? So Mercury and Neptune are playing a part here. Like, just do it. It doesn't have to be fancy. It doesn't have to go off to the printers. It's just got to get to the press, So I'm going to actually put those over there and create some cards. They don't even have to be like what I imagine right now. I guess it's more about just putting energy into something. So it might be good for you to like journal or go on Google. I mean, Amazon, I think that was like $10, not even. Maybe like $7, blank deck of cards. Create your own in your own words so you can understand it. You can relate to it. It's your story. People always like, and it's funny. It's standing up on its own. Whee! It's like a little tent. I come across memes where it's like, who would have thought me being a tarot reader would be calling out my own bullshit? And it is like that. And not always, but it is, because it's how you relate to things. It's how our brains are fucking programmed. And even if you're thinking outside the box, like, you still always take something and relate it to something, So one of the main reasons I became a YouTube reader is because I wasn't understanding how things were working, and I was so confused, and I kept saying to myself, there's no way I am the only person that thinks like this. Like, there's no fucking way. And it was just kind of like I had to go for it. And good thing I had that friend by my side that just pushed me and was like, just do it. We're going to do it now. Like, do like a trial. I'll watch you. You know what I mean? Like, I was like, I'm not doing that, yada, yada, I promise, I'll do it. And sure as shit, I did. So all of our brains process things differently. We all perceive things differently. And then when conditioning comes along, or, everyday life, the matrix, it becomes a perception. And that can always be shifted. And I've been stressing that a lot lately. So I think it's, the pushing me to start Dallas method again. To go back to that. I think it's time to go back to that. Because in all reality, like, things are going to make sense to you if it's something you create. Even if you're just drawing on these cards. So they're really stressing that to me for you guys. I'll leave it here, just a blank deck. You know what I mean? Like, even if you were to draw on it or doodle on it, or, remember when we were younger, we would cut things out and use a glue stick and just paste it on. Like, you could get like very creative and draw designs in the sand and stick glue on the card and then stick it on the sand, and you can laminate all of them, or you can just go get a little jar of gloss glaze and let it dry, overnight to stiffen the cards to save what you have, and you can do this in a very cheap way. I don't think there's anything here saying like you can't afford it, but like I'm just saying how easy it is for you to think outside the box and get out of your own head. So because I can keep clarifying, I can keep doing yada yada, but like what I'm trying to get at, like every day you can wake up and change your brain. You can change your mind. You can change the way you're looking at things. Like I literally woke up today and I was about to jump out of bed. I kept trying to open my eyes, and I made it a point to remember to like be grateful that I was here. I don't typically do that. And they say you should stay in bed for a few minutes before you get out of bed, because that is how your day shifts too. A lot of us just jump out of bed without even thinking, or like, oh, I'm gonna be late for work, or so it's like you're gonna live out the same day each day because you're not taking that moment. And I had to like force myself to stay in bed for a couple minutes. So I'm getting like the quartz crystal. When they told me to grab my quartz, it looks dirty. And something with the sun and a clear quartz for you guys. A lot of people put them in the moon, but you could also put them in the sun for a little while. Best advice for the Seven of Cups is the Hermit. Voice of light, going within, using your soul. There needs to be more depth. So I think people are being put in a situation to have more depth. And it's just, are you going to get into it? Are you going to illuminate something? Or are you going to stay in a dark spot? So someone here needs more soul searching. Needs to use their soul more when it comes to making decisions or looking at things. So someone here is, it's like being too logical or being too rambunctious, or what, and this is saying like things can settle down if you just follow your soul. You don't have to play out a whole conversation in your head 20 fucking times before you actually say it. Like, that's insane. Like, it's reminding me of like this 8 of Wands can be communication, but this is like when I couldn't get my brain to stop fucking firing. You know what I mean? When I was learning about the brain. And I just had a brain MRI yesterday. And so, yeah, like I just said, I'm getting pulled back to Dallas' method again, because I had to do a shit ton of research with the results from the accident. And it did impact some areas in my brain. But those, that can be regenerated, like my white matter, things like that I want to break down for all you guys. So, but I would, before I went to bed, like, in the midst of all of this, it's like studying, being in college, or however you want to look at it, like examining. I couldn't get my brain to shut off. Like I could play out an entire conversation in my head that would literally last an hour, as if like I was going to share it with YouTube. And then if I was to share it with YouTube, like it wouldn't come out the same way. So, but that's like somebody here is doing that instead of just following their soul and saying what needs to be said. They're allowing this energy to take over. And when that energy happens like that, you can literally fuck your brain up so bad to the point where it can cause bipolar. It can psychological damage that you won't be able to find your way out of unless you rewire your brain. So this, not looking so promising for whatever this is, because here's the deal, guys. I'm not trying to be a pessimist. I'm more of an optimist for sure, but this energy is struggling to follow their soul. This energy knows what they want. It's too good to be true. He's too good for me. She's too good. Like it's shit like that. You could be dealing with somebody who's like shallow, like they're better looking than me, like they just leave me, like energy, like people's confidence, needs a big boost, and you're the key to your own boost, and you feel so good. It's not even like the 10 of Wands, like you drop weight. Like when you learn to motivate yourself in a different way, not something you're already good at, like work or love, or you know what I mean, or cooking, or when it's something you really have to like work at, like it almost changes your own world. It's like you're proud of yourself. That's what needs to happen here. And for some of you, it's just as simple as doing it. Best advice for the moon. I see the moon and the moon sees me. Cards are getting sloppy. Something sloppy here. That's what I'm saying. Like somebody like is making it a lot worse than what it needs to be. Best advice, the High Priestess. Use your gut. It's like the High Priestess is looking right at the fucking Hermit and is like, what are you doing? And again, like that combination can be very secretive too. But this is your best advice. So to me, is something here needs to be illuminated. That's the only way this energy is going to shift. Jesus, the devil. This could even be, this is your best advice. So this could, to me, this would have to be a Capricorn energy in the sense of like, grounding a situation. I don't know where that came from. It didn't let me finish what I was going to say. Don't let fear get in the way. Toxic thoughts get in the way. So this is more uplifting, but full of depth. And this is more like hell. I mean, Jesus. This is someone sitting in very dark energy. This could be somebody's life lesson to get out of this situation, because the more these cards come out, and there's only 3 of them, the depth that I can already feel is heavy. It's like a dark spot. It's almost like come clean. Whatever. There could be an addiction. 2 of Wands, that's your best advice. It's time to go. You got to dominate your own situation, your own life. You have your own, happiness, growth. This is positive. It doesn't feel as heavy. So this is where someone's stuck. Because it's possible, but thinking the worst or letting fear get the best of you, it's time to step into something here with the sun. Here comes the sun. It's all right. And then you got the Chariot for the best advice, 5 of Wands. Keep it moving. The Lord of the Triumph of Light. But you have to dominate this energy. Some of you, this is congratulations. Leaving the past behind. Doing what's best for you. There's lots of conflict, but there's an easy way to solve this problem. You just fucking go for it. You follow your fucking soul. What is your gut telling you? The only thing that's stopping somebody is communication. And then whatever else they're factoring into a situation that doesn't need to be factored into. This is the fear. And this is the stop. Maybe some of you are nervous to be in the spotlight. You're nervous to, talk to a boss. You're nervous to, somebody asks you to speak and it's like, valedictorian type energy. Oh, do I want to speak in front of everybody? You know what I mean? Like, this could be in the public eye for some, the news, what we watch, but this is more about our personal endeavors here. So Ace of Pentacles, like your best advice already here, go for it. There's that, you need to have confidence. It's that 9 of Pentacles. And you got 2 of Cups at the bottom of the deck. So this does seem to, like I said, this seems more personal than it does social media, public eye. And then the 3 of Cups, Prince of Wands, 7 of Wands, Temperance. So yeah, like whatever is stopping this right now is, self-talk, fear. When I straighten these, it changes the energy. When I left them tilted, I felt like I could read it better. So someone's confused. You can only get yourself out of this. And again, it's like day after day, I feel so confused. I grow more confused. But it's like, and then the song picks up though, like, give me the beat, boys, to free my soul. I want to get lost in your rock and roll and drift away. Like, something is so very much positive here. This is a bummer that they're stuck here or we're stuck here. Gotta let the fear go. It's something toxic. It could be something karmic. Yeah, you have to abandon whatever this is, and like solitude, like I said, you gotta go within here. Like, you're meant to feel the depth. You're meant to follow your gut here. some people can get stuck and they will settle like where they're at. It's like I said, when people like jump out of bed, it's like you have no chance to change your day. Your one chance to change your day is the second you open your eyes. That's your one chance. You have to abandon whatever's happening here. And it's, somebody could be negative talking to you. This could be somebody toxic in your life, and you're just starting to figure that out. Because to me, you have to also abandon a situation here. So to me, it's somebody you're talking to, getting advice from. They're leading you down the wrong path. That's for somebody who's getting advice. So again, for those who are getting advice, for some of you, they're leading you down the wrong path. It's not helping the situation. It's making the situation worse. That's like a counselor giving you a job or something to do, or, to try to change a situation, and you just not doing the work. It's just like giving up. So you have energy here that's going to progress, and you have other energy that is not. I don't know if it's really unfortunate. I want to say it's unfortunate, but is it? I think you're more fortunate that this energy is more positive, in the sense of like, all right, I'm out. There's no point in arguing. There's no point in going down this road again. Like, this is like, I'm out. And all the energy is coming off this bracelet. Last night I thought about wearing this bracelet, so I knew to put it on this morning. I can't tell you what it is. I forget. My apologies. I think that might be red coral. I do save everything. And typically you can see the indent right there. That's when energy really gets it. But see how loose it is? For some reason, it just got stuck there intentionally. There was no reason for that to do that when it's loose. So someone's definitely stuck in this situation. And, I almost said something to you guys. I usually touch the cards. And in this reading, I didn't. I kept them separate. So there's a reason for that. And where's that again? What did I label my first video? Oh, let's wrap up June 2024. And then it's like, all right, let's try this again. So I don't know if somebody's going to try. If you do, it's going to be extremely beneficial to you. And it's energy that's actually very uplifting. You're leaving drama behind. You're leaving the conflict behind. You're leaving bad advice behind. You're realizing maybe somebody's been, holding you back. It's kind of like you're having some type of an epiphany that there's been energy that's been interfering. So, and guys, this is your own thoughts. For some of you, it's definitely another person, but the rest of us, it's our own thoughts. So if you know what those are, like I said, you can even write it down, tear it up, pour it into a cup, let it go, flush it down the toilet. When it comes to positivity, pour your cup and pour it outside on the grass and water the grass, so you're not wasting the water. So someone's just wasting their days away in some type of comfort zone, because I keep seeing the turtles. Maybe you should get out on the water, kayak, canoe, swim. We're in a heavy water transit right now. For some of you, water can be beneficial. You might end up crying, releasing. A lot of people hold back tears. Talking about Danny this morning, it's like a little tear dropped, and then it's like, I sucked it up. You know what I mean? Like, but sometimes it's just good to let it out, because all of that gets pent up. I feel like there has been a lot of crying here. A lot of crying, a lot of sleepless nights. People questioning what's this feeling. Like, this is a tough one because this is somebody literally like crying and extremely emotional. But they need to realize that there's something toxic in their life. And until they figure that out, they're stuck. And I'm telling you, some of these people just get up every day and just they keep living their life, living their life, living their life. And nothing's going to change unless they wake up one day, stay in bed, and decide to look at something differently. And the minute they do that, their entire world can change. Self-talk. Even if this is you, wake up tomorrow with spirit and ask to give you the courage to reach out, give you the courage to speak, give you the courage to do this, and whatever's holding me back. Like if you think there's a spell, like pour some water into a cup, dump it out. Like things like that. Like water magic, create your own. Like I just saw like a cup, and then you sprinkle dirt in it, and then you pour it out. You know what I mean? Like, so get creative. You don't have to go and buy a spell book. Like, if you're doing a spell to benefit you, you can't go wrong. You tell the truth at the end of the day, you be exactly who you are at the end of the day, from the beginning of the day to the end of the day, can't go wrong. This is Matrix, and this is where somebody is stuck. But you can get yourself out of it. All you have to do is abandon a thought or a person. Like, this energy knows they're being held back, but they can have this. It's almost like the read I did yesterday. I guess I'm not getting that bug. It keeps hovering over the sun. I think that was the read I did yesterday. Lost my train of thought with the bug. So that's telling me too, somebody would think about you, or you think about something, then just gets bypassed. I did a read yesterday. I don't remember. Because I don't even think it was yesterday. Oh yeah, letting the tower fall. You gotta let the tower fall. This is probably where somebody's stuck. You know what I mean? Like, you just gotta let it fall. Like, this is, like I said, this is more than the 10 of Wands. Like, your entire life changes. And I think this energy knows it. But they don't know how it's going to change. So instead of trying to change it, it's laying in bed, crying, thinking about it, not thinking about it, distracting themselves. You know what I mean? Not following the gut. Like, their gut is telling them to go. Their gut is telling them to stop going to somebody for advice. Their gut is telling them to stop doing what it is they're doing. Like, their gut is talking to them, but like, there's a dark energy around them. Like, there is an energy around them where they have to realize that there's a karmic holding them back. And it could be a family member. It could be a karmic family member, a karmic thought, a karmic friend. There's that fucking bug again that I can't get. So this bug wants to be some part of somebody's life, but it's like they don't belong in somebody's life like that. Like, if you have children, it's a family member, like, that's different. Make it work. But the tower has to fall. I just got pulled to 9/11, so I don't know how that's significant. I know it's a tower, but I say the tower all the time, and I never get pulled to 9/11. So it could be fear of dying. It could be fear of flying. It could be, you lost somebody that day or around that time. Or, I don't know. I'm getting pulled to that, like, tragic honeymoon thing I was talking about the other day, too. There's also travel here. So be careful in the car. Make sure you have all the fluids in the car. Don't leave your car unlocked. Especially if you're going on a long trip and it's really fucking hot. Make sure you have everything you need in your car. spare tire, cables, jump start. There's that bug again. I've been in that situation too where I needed to jump a car and I didn't have any cables, and I was like, holy shit, I always have cables in the back of the car. Like, that doesn't make any sense. Like, and then the person I asked, like, it was like 3 people in a row, like they didn't have cables in their car, and I was just like, what the fuck is wrong with us? 4 out of 7 people didn't have fucking what they needed in the car. It's like a necessity. You know, like my dad taught me from an early age, like what you need in a car. So that, I don't know. I think, you know, I think Danny said, oh, I let Jesse borrow them or something. Like, it was something like that, but it was like, Jesus, like, that's something you put back. You know, you take the milk out, you put the milk back. So it's like somebody here is sipping on curdled fucking milk. It's like, what are you doing? And again, Spirit keeps wanting to put me here too, in the sense of, I almost just swallowed the bug, in the sense of, yeah, see, someone must be struggling here, but like putting me here to relate it to you guys, like as if it's just a thought. Like, and I say this to you all the time, like, am I holding myself back when it comes to dollars a month? And I truly believe that I'm not, you know, but like, now I know it's time to like start again. And that's funny because I wrote, let's start again. Let's try again. You know, so maybe it was time before and I was holding myself back and I didn't because I couldn't figure out how to proceed. So I kind of abandoned it without looking at it as abandonment. Does that make sense? Like, I was stuck. I was confused. Like, I couldn't pinpoint, like, because I actually can pinpoint. I know exactly what it is, but how to put it out there is a whole nother story. So again, I've said to you guys plenty of times. So there's something like that going on because they're definitely having me put somebody else there, but you guys there as well. And it's very much possible. You just got to do it. So it's like figuring it out, being clear-headed, starting, and then it's like, huh? So like, it's like one major bump, and then, you know, maybe sailing for a little while, and then like maybe another little bump. But I do feel like there's going to be a big decision here. But in regards to the Ace of Pentacles and Nine of Pentacles, like, I think you're going to be good on whether or not, whatever that is. So this, again, is a major alignment here. And there's something with Mercury, and people always want to say, like, don't start something with Mercury, and it's, you know, that's not true. And I started the other channel with Mercury. And again, it's not true. That was the perfect time. It was the perfect alignment to put it out there. To continue it, maybe not, lots of holdups, but it's out there. And it took a long time to even get it out there legally, you know. So something is overdue here. And I'm hearing not in regards to the channel. So somebody else is here. There's another energy here. I think it's an actual person more than like an entity or a shadow. Like, whatever your thoughts on now for my spirituals, I'm hearing is normal. Something's lingering. It's okay. It's pulling me to the Mother's Day read. And then here, like, it's not okay. So there's definitely 2 different situations, 2 different people. So it's still lingering. I don't think you have a cord, but it's lingering. I regret lying to you. There's that fucking bug again. It keeps going to the sun. This 8 of Wands, best advice, shine. There's the sun, shine. This is easier than somebody thinks it is. If it's just a thought or a person, you just confuse. You're making it worse. I feel like you have to abandon a thought in order to proceed. And I think it's like surrounding, like, you know, have more gratitude with the devil here. Like, be appreciative of what you have, it's not about what you don't have right now. It's about what you have and what you can create. This is somebody's major life lesson here being learned, because it's like not seeing the positive side of something. They're more dwelling on the negativity. Like I said, you have to be more appreciative, and the way you wake up can change your entire day. You can change your entire life in a blink of an eye, to be quite honest with you. You really, truly can. Because once your brain starts firing all those neurotransmitters, like, your aura is like, bam, it's like a magnet for what's next in your life. I feel like I just saw the sun move. So to me, like, your gut is telling you. And with the sun, your best advice, again, emotional healing. So it is something, like I said, somebody doesn't want to deal with, or you got really hurt, or you want to go in this direction, but somebody once said something to you, and it's still there. Your nerves, the fear. But whatever this is brings emotional healing. Like, this is when I say this is the biggest misconception out there when it comes to, propaganda. And I couldn't think of that word for a minute. With like, oh, you can't move forward, you can't rebuild your life, you just got over something, you just lost a job, you get another one. Like, it's clear your head and stop listening to people. Like, follow your soul here. Do what it is you want to do. Don't allow other people's stress and karma to hold you back. Like, I feel like there's energy that's like literally out of your hands. And when that happens, you're going to sit there and cry about it, or you're going to pick yourself up. And I don't mean to be an asshole. I've been there quite a few times. It's not easy to dig yourself out of this energy, but you're the only one that can do it. And others of you, it's not as deep. You know what I mean? But whatever this is brings you peace, brings you harmony. So again, stop listening to what other people have to say about what you should do and how you should heal and how you should move forward, and when, with who, or on your own, or you know what I mean? Like, just like that's a problem here. Too many people yapping in people's fucking ears about what direction to fucking go in, and it's stopping you. Somebody else's thought or opinion is stopping this energy from proceeding. And whatever this is brings, I'm almost saying, like, enlightenment. It shifts your life, guys. It's the sun. It's the best card in the fucking deck. All you got to do is step into it. Yeah, it's going to cause a little fucking strife with some people, but you have enough stamina with the Chariot here to move forward and create something. You just have to stay strong, like, with conviction when it comes to your morals. This is like a whole new world. This is an uplift, and like, I'm getting that when I just felt, I felt it. It's exactly what I said in the beginning of the read. Like, self-motivation. Like, you're the only one that can get yourself here. And oh man, when you get there, it's like, that's when I said, like, it's not like the 10 of Wands. Like, this is like, wow, you know, this is when you get so proud of yourself. I did this. I got myself here. And some people need a little help along the way, and their pride gets in the way. You know, so whether it's a dynamic duo, it's solo, you got this. Best advice was Eight of Pentacles. The shadow wanted to pop out. So that's what I'm saying. Like, you've got to work with the shadow here. And you're a teacher. Self-taught. You're learning. It's basically exactly what I've been saying. It's just being projected in a different way. And like I said in this reading, like, this is why I came on YouTube. I'm not the only way. There's no way in hell that I am the only one that thinks the way I do. And I was stuck. And then finally I was like, fuck it. I'm putting it out there. Put it out there. It's a great time to put it out there. You're going to learn as you go. Research as you go. You don't have the answers to everything, but the more you do the research and the more you put it out there, you become this person. Yeah, see, throat chakra. And the birds got loud. So I'm going to give you the same advice I've been giving you. Work on your root chakra first, and then go to your throat chakra. Work with energy, stones, and crystals. Certain music doesn't even need to be binaural beats. Uplifting music will fire some axons. And again, learn as you go. Like, sometimes my pride gets in the way too, but like, I've come to realize after all this time with you guys, like, I'm also learning as I teach. I obviously have the gift of teaching and the gift of speech and how I communicate and how I project things. I don't know how it's there. It's just there. It's meant to be there. But I also learn as I go. Like, I educated myself on a fucking brain for the whole year, and I'm back to doing it again. And it's like, so much work. I might as well have a fucking degree. That's where I'm at. You know what I mean? But it's worth it. I know what comes next is going to help a lot of people. Putting it out there is my issue. Do I sell it? Do I put it out there to a huge company that can take it and put it out there? Like, or do I do it solo? I do it myself. But it's like that one thing, like, I don't quite know how to put it out there yet. And I know they want me to start the channel and talk about things and teach about the brain. But I know for a fact it's not time to expose what's going to help, which is crazy because we're in this ascension, right? But I also look at it like this generation needs help. They're the ones that are going to be, making the decisions in 20 years. And we're going to be sitting back, Social Security, all this other stuff, and hoping for the best. Because right now it's like we're fucked, But not necessarily. We have to have a lot of hope. And for me, it's like this generation is kind of lost. So it's their children, people within the last few years having children. It's that generation that's going to make a difference. So it's important to work with children right now too, but it's also important to work with the lost generation, because they have to raise the generation that is going to shift the world. And that is the truth. The way we teach our children, like the way, if we have to have side programs, it's time to have a side program. It's like teaching kids a different language at the age of 3, 4, you know what I mean? Because it's not learning to them. They don't understand they're learning it. They pick it up because it's there. Hooked on phonics, shit like that. Like, there needs to be more outside education, because I don't think, the government is going to incorporate what really needs to be incorporated. And then you have these teachers that, they sign something and then get fired for talking about certain stuff, or, not doing it like by protocol. That's why a lot of people choose to be professors in college, and because they have more leeway on what they want to teach and how they want to explain it. But they're actually told how to explain how history went down. They're not allowed to share their fucking opinion. And when they do, a majority of them get fired. So like, we need more programs outside of school that are fun and educational. And I'm able to do that too with what I do next. But it's a matter of putting it out there the right way. And I feel like I'm meant to work with children too, but like, I also feel like I'm meant to work with more with like adults, but it really does boil down to their generation. So it's like I have to work with both, and that's a lot of work, because I have to separate it. And that's separating what I've learned with the brain, because children learn differently than adults. So when I say it's a lot of work, it's a lot of work. And like I said, I don't feel like I've been stuck. I've just been doing this, and I really got to get going with members too. And I will be on later. I'm going to use the runes with you guys. So energy is just coming to me. Thoughts are coming to me. Like, take advantage of this, because there's no way that this isn't happening to you. It's just, what are you doing about it? It's like parenting. It's hard. You punish your kid. We're punishing ourselves. We let shit slide. Or you're so anal, you don't let shit slide. And, you're just stuck in frustration, and your child's stuck because you want to be a hard ass instead of understanding or explaining. You know what I mean? Like, it's almost like a damned if you do, damned if you don't, So it's always there. It's how we deal. And that's the truth. We're all capable of doing this, and we're learning as we're going. But we really got to start thinking about the next generation instead of here and now, because here and now we're stuck globally. And that can only change if there's enough people that put shit out there. So I know when I do it, it has to be set up properly. It's legalized, but there's a lot behind it. A lot. And I can't do it all. So I am going to have to collab at some point. You know what I mean? Because thoughts just come to me over and over. Like, I work on one thing, and then here comes another. And it's almost like, oh, you start one thing, but you don't finish another. No, I always finish. Sometimes I overwork myself to finish, but so that's not what it is, like with starting the channel and then, oh, she starts something and doesn't finish it. No, not at all. And I'm not going to be all that person all the time, and, spirit's timing, but sometimes it is like that, because it's my timing in the sense of where my own brain is and how consuming the information, like how, like, so I can project it. Like, comprehending myself on what I do matters. And white matter is so fucking important in your brain, and like it's motion, it's connected to your nervous system, which I'm working with, and it's your consciousness. Hold on, where is There's certain parts of my brain that I noticed from my MRI that are lacking because of the accident. And it makes complete sense when it comes to my muscles and it comes to comprehension, and, you know, it's slowly getting better. And again, they wanted me to go to speech therapy, and then speech therapy is like, nope, I want you to go to occupational therapy, because it's the vision too. It has to do with light. It's just where it was the blunt force, you know. But everything that's going on can be regenerated. So again, like I've said this plenty of times, especially for newbies. I got in a car accident in January 2nd. I got slammed behind at a complete stop by somebody going 50. They were careless on their phone. You know, a lot of people die in situations like that. I did get lucky on where they hit me. And right before that, I was studying the brain for about a year for what I do next. And it's not a coincidence that I got put in this situation. And now all of a sudden I had a brain MRI and I'm back to studying that part of the brain. And it's all linked to what I was going to do anyway. You know what I mean? But it's almost like people don't understand. Readers, people who are gifted, we go through shit you wouldn't even know that we go through to help the collective. That's the only way. That's that learning and teaching. You know what I mean? That's what that is. Those who are true and authentic. Like myself, I just heard stamp it. You know, I don't give myself enough credit sometimes. So that just moved. I can go from one thing to another. Like my brain, it just fires and it's just bam, idea. But that's meant to happen. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like I feel like half of my ideas I'll probably just end up selling because I can't do them all. You know? Definitely an entrepreneur in different areas, not just one. So I know we all have this capability. It's just doing it. The minute you have an awakening and you keep having awakenings and it's, you know it in your soul, just start with that, you know. Again, not a coincidence that now I feel like it's time for me to do it again, and now I'm studying my own fucking brain. You know, it's one of those situations like I really thought I walked away from that accident and I didn't. I really fucking didn't. And it sucks. And I'll get there. But I also have to get you guys there. I have to get the collective there. I'm part of this ascension. I know I am. And there's a lot of us out there. You know, we're constantly having awakenings. We just think we have like one or two. It's not like that. It's just not. You know, it's like me waking up to knowing I have this capability. It's shit like that, guys. You know what I mean? Like, you think you're waking up your third eye, working with prana energy, stuff like that, or doing yoga. Like, that shit is not, it's gonna ground you, but it's not gonna get you to where you need to be. It's not gonna benefit the next generation. And we're not thinking about the next generation. All we keep saying is that we're fucked. Stop saying we're fucked. What are you gonna do about it? You have an idea. We all have an idea. We can overtake the fucking government tomorrow if we all got together and did it. And threw the Constitution in their fucking face. We can overpower them. They put us in a position where we feel like we're limited. And they do it intentionally. That's the fucking problem. You know what I mean? We're the problem, not the government. The government's the problem, but we're the problem. Nobody's fucking seeing that. We're the problem. And don't worry about how people want you to think or read. It's fucking bullshit. But we always get tested. We'll always be put in that situation by somebody saying something negative that intentionally wants to hold us back. And believe it or not, it fucking works. Because our brains were trained to allow that energy to overpower our own fucking brain. We're the problem. The government's the problem, but we're the problem. We can overpower them. We can start fresh. We're capable of doing that. We have all these fucking rallies, this and that. Like, no. Like, you can put it out there and I'm sure it'll get shut down. But if, you know, 1 million people sat outside of the Capitol and certain stuff like that, shit would change. You threw the fucking Constitution in their face. Everybody stops fucking voting. You do shit like that. That's when we change the world. That's when we change our world. Because it's their world, but it's our world. People need to fucking comprehend that shit. And step out of the fucking matrix. Step out of their fucking world. This is our world. Everything on this planet is ours. It is meant to be shared. We're meant to learn. We're meant to share. And it's fucking bullshit. And the thing is, guys, we can change it. We really, truly fucking can. Yeah, occupational and speech therapy are very different. Yeah, like, because I went to speech therapy and I'm like, I don't even know why the fuck I'm here. You know, and I know it's post-concussion, you know, but they're like, oh, we help you do this, this, and this. Usually after people have like a stroke or something like that, but like blunt trauma triggers other things. So she thinks mine's being triggered through my eyes, through the light, which makes sense. Because when I went to the neurologist, she told me I had that optical neuralgia, I think it is. And everything that's going on in my brain is what does cause confusion and what's not linking to what. So I'm the only one that's able to actually link that because now I know how my brain is. So everything happens for a reason. You know, why didn't I get the brain MRI months ago? Maybe it wasn't time, guys. It was 6 months in, 7 months in. Now it was time. Divine timing. We can't keep looking at this as somebody from our fucking past. This is us. This is us. We're all struggling. Own it. We can take ourselves out of it. All we got to do is wake up the next day and change the way we're looking at something. Stop crying for help and actually help yourself. Talk to your guides in a more positive way. And my whole life, my mom says it, like I have rare shit that in my brain that only 2% of the fucking human population fucking have. That makes sense to me. And we always joke, like, I'm special. Like, everything, like, I have, like, this MRI or this shows up. Like, everything that's, like, in my body, only, like, 2% or 5% of the fucking population have what I have. It's, like, very rare shit. A lot of doctors don't even know how to fucking work with it. But guess what? Apparently I do, you know? So, my whole life, my parents had me tested for so many different things. And it's just, like, I've never really been in the matrix, and that's the truth. And it took me to get to my age now to realize where I'm at to teach other people. That car accident was intentional. Saving my life was intentional. Learning the brain was intentional. My MRI yesterday was intentional. Learning my heart, where the the arteries go up into your throat. Intentional. We see divine timing and we want to put it on somebody else. Nope, this is us. We can stop thinking about them. I work with karma. I heal karma. I've been teaching you guys about karma. I'm not an average reader and I'm not meant to be. I've never read a fucking book to how to do it. None of that shit. I'm my own person. I think the way I think. I comprehend the way I comprehend, and I'm going to project how I comprehend things. And I've been with people, I've dated people, and they laugh because I'll be like, I'll give them an example of that, and then they're like, all right, I'll just put it in another way, but I'm saying the same thing. You know what I mean? And they probably think I just want my way or this and that. And it's like, no, I'm just good at breaking things down in a different way for people to understand. It's not me being manipulative or tricky or sly or wanting my way. I'm just trying to break it down differently so you understand. And that's really all it is at the end of the day. If you're not getting what I'm saying the first time and I feel the need to break it down a different way, is because I know you're not comprehending what I'm saying. You might understand it as like propaganda, the Matrix, that type of shit, but like, you're not comprehending it. It's a thought that's already been learned. So I will break it down a different way because our brains work differently. Our DNA works differently. Our brains can heal ourselves depending on what part of the brain you decide to work with. Can't just work with one part of the brain. One part of that medicine, that gabapentin goes to my GABA, great. But like, what about everything else that's twisted? Not there, fading. Got to bring that back to life. So it's working with different parts of the brain. It's not just one part, but one part holds the key. So that's the key I'm going to work with. But I also have to break down different parts of the brain, because once you can break down your own brain, your world changes. Like, and I've said this when I was studying the brain, I don't even understand how like scientists, and I don't even understand, like, they know it's so corrupt and where we get stopped by certain stuff. And it's like, they don't put it out there, and as I study, and it's just so baffling, because it's like, once you understand your own brain, it's like an awakening, and it does change the way you look at things. So I just don't know how the doctors get to this point and they never question. They have to. I've had this conversation with, like, how do they not question? They know what the issue is. And it makes me want to say, like, where's their morals? But like, I guess to me, they're meant to bypass that one part as they're learning the brain to fit into the matrix. Me, I found the blockage. So it's intentional that these doctors and neuroscientists, it's intentional that part gets bypassed, because it's supposed to in the matrix. But once you do your own studying and you find that blockage, it becomes like, it's baffling. And if you study the brain and get your own perspective on it, your life fucking changes, guys. And you will understand. You want to say we'll never understand how the brain fully works. I don't agree with you there. We absolutely, you have to learn your own brain, though. You have to be able to know this is the way I think and this is why I think this way. Like, if you break it down, it changes everything. You don't need to know all the ins and outs and the science behind it. You just have to do your own research, because you will get to where I got, where it's baffling. And these people are meant to bypass it. When we're awakened and different parts are activated in our brain doesn't allow us to bypass that. There's that bug that I can't get. Oh, I just got it. So, and it was on the sun before, and I just looked up and here's the sun, and I changed this deck. I changed this. I kept saying it for the last 10 days with Cancer season, that I wanted this deck before I start the rest of the 2024 reads for you guys. And there's something with the sun, and illumination and things, longevity, things like that, and sure as shit, the sun came out. So it's a big sign for you guys. But to me, it's illumination. So I will be back later or first thing in the morning, if it's not today, because you know me, I keep saying that and then you don't see me. But I do want to work with the runes on members, and do the rest of June, wrap up June as well with the runes. So yeah, that will be fun. We haven't used the runes in a while. You're welcome. So there is a link for my members in the description box below. And it's for only one tier, $14.99. If you honestly can't afford it, you can join for $1 and you will still be able to see my videos. Because that's how karma works. If your guides, you can afford it and you choose not to pay it, then there's consequences to everything. Repercussions, good repercussions, not so great. Some people pay more than they even have to just to help other people. Not to benefit my channel, but to help other people who can't afford it, which I think is absolutely amazing. So again, it's available for you guys for just $1, because I know what it's like. It's like I didn't want it to be $14.99 in the sense of like a Netflix or something like that. Like, because I don't want it looked at like that. But I also wanted it to, I've had this conversation, again, I'm getting pulled to the Mother's Day read. We had this conversation about memberships, so I'm getting pulled to that exact read if you guys want to go watch it, especially if you haven't watched it and you're new, or maybe I should go back and watch it, but the $14.99, just because I just didn't want anybody to just jump on members like that. So, but it's just within me. So you have the option of the 99 cents as well. And we can all afford that. One less candy bar a month, one less, you know what I mean? So the more the merrier. And that's just how I look at it. I don't need a $500 tier for you to pull your life together. It's fucking robbery. It's disgusting is what it is. We make money different ways. YouTube, made it into something it shouldn't be, so they bank more money. But, and I've stopped watching readers because of it. They get on the fucking high horse and it's just, that won't last. You want something with longevity. You want something that benefits you. That's not beneficial, because you're not within your own brain. You're not making your own fucking choices. We got to stop making our own fucking choices. How long you want to listen to a reader saying they're coming, and they don't? But with my shit, the story is always there because it's karma, whether we're engaging in it or not. Like if it's like you thought that person was going to come to you and reconcile and they didn't, they went to somebody else. That's life. The more you sit in that energy, you're never going to progress. You're never going to move forward in life. You know? So, it took me a while to figure that shit out. It was a painful experience. So, I hope, I didn't have a teacher. I didn't have a reader like me that got me out of that situation. I had to get myself out so I can, get you guys out. And we're doing it together. That's how this works. That wisdom, whatever's in me, it's there. But I have to project it. We all have it. It's not easy. It's ultimately up to us. We miss the boat, You're going to dwell or you're going to get on the next one. Give it a shot. So again, if you guys want to join our members, the link should be below. And I can also put it in the comment box for you guys, because sometimes people can't find it in the description box. But I do know if you see me live on members, I know you can click on that video and it will bring you to members. So I love you guys so much, and I'm getting pulled to work on that. And we will have some fun later or first thing in the morning with the runes, because we haven't used those in a while, and it's always different energy with the runes. It's nice working with a different part of our roots. It's nice to mix up the energy. Sometimes you just need a little sunshine in your life. Go buy yourself some tapestry. I'm obsessed with this one. I usually have it on my wall, like obsessed. I talk to this one. Like things carry energy. This one carries energy. Whoever created this one put their intentions into it. Just like when people create a deck, they put their own intentions into it. And that's where things can become scary too, because depending on who you are and the gifts that you have, like you can relate to some people. And like some of my favorite decks, like this woman that made it was so depressed, and I could feel her and I could see energies. I can see where she is with like certain stuff when she was creating certain pictures. So you got to be careful that way, in the sense of protecting your energy and what you decide to take on. I love you guys. We'll see you soon. Bye.